Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we are going to be looking at Lava Gout Battle Gauntlets. They are a exceptional level item with a level requirement of 42, so not too bad. And they have some pretty nice effects on them. So as we go over these, I hope you will be like, those are actually pretty nice. So Lava Gout Battle Gauntlets have a defense of 144, which does vary a bit with a enhanced defense between 150 to 200%. They only have a strength requirement of 88, which isn't too bad for level 42. And they have some really nice effects on them, like 2% chance to cast level 10 Enchant on striking. So 2% is not a very high percent chance, but level 10 Enchant does tend to last for about 6 minutes, which is relatively important as far as this is concerned, because obviously we're worried about how long this enchant is going to last. It also has a relatively nice effect. So level 10 enchant is going to give you a 101% increase to your attack rating, which is freaking awesome. It's also going to give you a damage bonus of fire of 27 to 39. Now, if you do happen to be a sorceress who has other skills, you can actually synergize the enchant, and it will be a little bit better as far as the fire damage is concerned, but the increase in attack rating is going to be the same. So let's go ahead and pull out Zeal here, and you'll see I have 2,145 attack rating, and I have 404 to 786 damage. And we're just going to go see if we can get this to proc really quickly. And when it does proc, you will see a very obvious animation of the enchant coming onto the character, you know, the little fire that comes up around. And so now that we've got the enchant procced, let's go back to town and we'll take a look and see what it has done for us. So now we have 2,700 attack rating, and our you notice our damage is red. We have 429 to 822, and also our weapon has turned red, indicating that the enchant was successful. So very, very nice. And of course, because these this particular gloves are going to be on you all the time, you're probably going to have enchant all the time. I think it would be relatively easy to maintain a 6-minute enchant from the Lava Gout Gauntlets, which means you are constantly going to have a very nice 101% increase to attack rating, as well as the additional fire damage. They also give you 20% increased attack speed, which is very nice to have on a wide variety of characters. Any character that needs faster attacks, like an Amazon, a Zeal Paladin, a Frenzy Barbarian, you know, what have you. Then it also gives you 13 to 46 extra fire damage on top of that. So not only are we getting fire damage from the enchant itself, but we are also getting more fire damage from the gauntlets, which is pretty nice. We also get a rather nice bonus here of the enhanced defense, which we already went over. And then we also get fire resistance 24%, which is nothing to shake a stick at. It's nice to have resistances on your gloves. They also have half freeze duration, which will come in handy if you do not have cannot be frozen yet. Although I will recommend that if you are a melee character, definitely get yourself cannot be frozen. It is really, really important. Now, the interesting thing about Lava Gout Gauntlets is you don't actually necessarily have to use them full time. On many characters, I would actually have something like Laying of Hands nearby, and I would take the Laying of Hands and put them in my stash or my cube, and then I would wait until I got the proc for enchant, and I would swap them out. That way, I could maintain using something like the damage to demons on Laying of Hands, while not having to keep these on constantly. And whenever I went into a new game or I noticed that my enchant had worn off, I would swap them back, wait until the enchant procced, and then just continue doing this over and over again as required. It's actually a very nice effect, and since it is a proc, it is free, as opposed to something like Demon Limb, which is a charge that costs money. Now, granted, the Demon Limb charge is level 23, and the Lava Gout Battle Gauntlets charge is only level 10. But Demon Limb is a level 63 item and is going to require a lot higher level to use. So from an early level, when you are first starting, you will definitely notice that the Lava Gout Gauntlets are probably the superior choice for quite some time until you can actually get access to a Demon Limb, which I have actually just done a video on the Demon Limb if you want to check that out. Now, Lava Gout Battle Gauntlets can be upgraded to the next tier. And I'm not exactly sure that you would want to upgrade these because they seem to really shine very specifically at the level that they are at. If you find these ethereal, they're generally not very good just simply because you cannot Zod ethereal gloves, you cannot socket them at all, and there's absolutely no way that you could use ethereal items on mercenaries or anything like that, so it's pretty much just use the ethereal versions until they break. So let's go ahead and grab the runes here, and we're going to see it goes from 144 defense, they are battle gauntlets, 88 strength with a level requirement of level 42. Once transmuted, they go to 198 defense. Not really that big of an upgrade. 151 strength requirement and a level requirement of 64. As you can see, now they're more along the lines of the same level as the Demon Limb. Actually one level higher, and they don't even give you better enchant. If you are a character who has 151 strength and you are using Lava Gout Gauntlets on a regular basis, I wouldn't see any reason that you couldn't upgrade these. Take, for instance, a Monarch Shield, which, let's see if I have them. I don't have a Monarch Shield laying around. Well, Monarch Shields, if you are happen to using a Spirit Monarch Shield, that's 156 strength requirement. So chances are, if you are using a Monarch Spirit Shield, you probably have 156 strength, which means 151 might not actually be terrible. The level requirement going up to 64 is kind of bad because, you know, it's just not the greatest. So these would probably be considered like end game gauntlets, something that you could upgrade and use on a character who is utilizing these gauntlets probably full time. Thankfully, you know, due to the enchant, the increased attack speed, it's actually not a bad combination. The rest of the stats on this particular piece of equipment are actually just kind of like gravy. The fire damage isn't really super important, but it's kind of nice. The enhanced defense isn't really super important, but it's kind of nice. The fire resistance isn't even super important, but it's kind of nice. And usually by the time you get to level 64, you've got some kind of cannot be frozen, so the half freeze duration is unfortunately not really helpful. All in all, they're definitely very nice gauntlets, and I think it's very important if you are a person who loves to play melee and range characters to probably have a pair of these laying around, specifically in the lower form, so that you can utilize them on those lower level characters to get free enchant. However, if you are a character who's utilizing these more toward the end game, upgrading them might be viable. They're not so ridiculously rare that that you're going to have a super duper hard time finding them, as battle gauntlets tend to be a relatively low-level item. Let's go over real quick the treasure class of these particular items, and we'll talk about where they can drop. So, Lava Gout. Always reminds me of actual gout. The Lava Gout Battle Gauntlets are in the treasure class 51 category, and they are Q level 50. So they can actually drop in pretty much any zone level 51 or higher, and from elites in some slightly lower level zones. So if we take a look at the area level list for Diablo 2, we will find that the majority of the areas in Act 2 are too low level. Act 2 Nightmare is, there's a couple areas in Act 2 Nightmare which can drop these, but for the most part we're looking at Act 3 Nightmare and beyond. Once you get to Act 3 Nightmare, you have a chance of getting these from just about any monster in the game, and in Hell difficulty, of course, pretty much every single monster can drop these. So it seems to me if you were specifically targeting these, a good place to go might be to farm Act 3 Nightmare Mephisto. That would actually be a fairly decent place. I think all the monsters in there have a chance to drop Lava Gout Gauntlets, including the council members and Mephisto himself. So not a bad option. You know, there's really not a lot of characters who wouldn't get good use out of Enchant. I mean, you have to specifically be a character who is not using attack rating. Like a Smite Paladin probably wouldn't specifically want Enchant. But a caster type, like a sorceress who is, using frozen orb and stuff like that, is obviously not going to want Enchant or increased attack speed. But this is going to do very well on, like I said, Zeal Paladins, Frenzy Barbarians, Whirlwind Barbarians even, although you will have to attack things normally a couple times to get the enchant to proc. It's kind of an oddity because Whirlwind does not proc effects. You could use this even on a Shapeshifter Druid. You wouldn't get very much benefit from the 20% increased attack speed, but the enchant would certainly help you out. And, you could even use this on a Kick-Sin or a martial arts assassin would actually be a decent choice. The increased attack speed along with the enchant isn't certainly not a bad option. And, they're just not bad gloves all around. I don't think they're like the best gloves in the universe or anything, but they're decent gloves. As always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, and keep watching.